Well guys and girls, it's Usernamekate and welcome to another motorcycle review first impressions. Today we're on the Honda Transalp, or officially known as the XL750 Transalp, and today we're going to get on it, give it a go and see what we think. So guys, if you want to know what I think about the Transalp 750, and keep watching. Right guys, well I've come out on the Honda Transalp. It is my first ride impressions of this machine, so we'll see what I think of it. Now we're going to do a typical route today. I know you guys see a lot of Rivington on my channel, but I hope I do break it up enough with the odd trip to Yorkshire, Peak District, Wales, Scotland even. Wow, the fair's on, so the traffic is piling up. Okay, so we got it in sport mode. We don't have the optional quick shifter fitted on this, so I am just fake quick shifting, but if you know you know. So I've kind of left it a bit late in the day to take this bike out, so we're dealing with a little bit of rush hour traffic, and that's good because it shows what it's like to ride at slow speeds and stuff like that. We'll just nip in here. I'd normally go right here, but I'm just trying to switch it up for you guys a little bit, so I'll go through Horwich. Again, probably going to encounter a lot of traffic, but hey ho. So, first impressions. Well, I've got it in sport mode, and so far, as I expected, in sport mode the throttle is quite abrupt and aggressive in terms of winding the power on. Sometimes you try and do it gradually, and gradual isn't really in the sport mode's dictionary, but on the fly we'll bob it in standard mode. We'll just see if that makes it a little bit easier in the rush hour traffic in regards of throttle. So one of the things I noticed when pushing this bike out of my garage before is it felt really light to push, and to my surprise when I switched the bike on, I was expecting it to show that it had an empty tank, but it's actually almost full. So it doesn't feel all that heavy, but if you guys have seen my walk around video, then you'll know exactly what it's like for me to push. I suppose it is quite light because it does have, I'd say, a relatively small tank for a bike that, you know, can do touring. We've got a 16.9 litre tank, where, I'm sorry Transalp, you're the second one for me to review, so I am going to have to draw some comparisons between you and the Suzuki B-Strom 800DE, whether you like it or not. Yeah, it feels a lot lighter than that bike when they both have full tanks, but that has a 20 litre tank, so this is saving, you know, a fair bit of weight. Fuel is weighty in literage. It would have been really cool if this had been fitted with the optional quick shifter, just so that I could have seen how it compared against the 800, because that quick shifter and auto blipper is absolutely sublime. I know that it was pretty good on the Hornet, so I'd expect big things from this, but if you've experienced the quick shifter on the Transalp, let me know how you get on, because I think it is quite reasonably priced for a bloody quick shifter and auto blipper. Another thing, we have a seat height of 850mm, 5mm lower than the V-Strom, but good lord, it feels a lot lower. It feels more like the height of my GS, to be quite honest. Whereas if you guys saw my walk round on the 800, you'll see that I just dangled each side. So it made stopping at lights interesting, but I don't really have that worry with this. We've got the parallel twin in this bike, 270-degree crank. I know the parallel twin trend is triggering a lot of you guys at the moment. There's a few battles in my comments section. Some people are really for this style of engine. Others think it's boring and, you know, accuse you of being a sheep if you like the parallel twins. I mean, personally, I don't mind them. I prefer a parallel twin over an inline four, I think. I can't lie. Because as fast and smooth as inline fours are, I like an engine that's got a bit of zest, a bit of spice, a bit of just charisma. Do you know what I mean? And going fast is all very well and good, and it is fun when it's smooth. And yeah, I don't dislike inline fours because I like all motorcycles, but it's not my top choice of configuration. So I am quite fond of a parallel twin. I don't mind it. And this one specifically sounds excellent. It sounds exceptional. It does roar, and it makes you feel something, you know? It makes you feel like, ooh, it sounds spicy. Also, I rode the Honda Hornet 750 with the SE Project cam on, and loved how it sounded with that cam. So I can imagine if you put an aftermarket exhaust on this, it will be sexy too. Right, let's see what it's like to stand up on. Saying you can go off-road on this. Oh, it feels lovely. It feels bloody lovely to stand up on. Yeah, comfortable to stand up on, 100%. That'll come quite in handy if you're doing a spot of off-roading on this. And this bike is nicely geared towards being an off-road motorcycle. We've got a 21-inch front wheel. It comes with some Dunlop Trail Maxes. We have a gravel mode on this. We have a user mode where you can completely switch off the ABS at the rear, which again it's a must, really. It's a must for an off-road bike. So the suspension isn't as bouncy as the 800 DE, the V-Strom, but it's still quite plushy. So the dash is pretty clear. It's nice and clear. We have 4 display settings. We've got things like self-cancelling indicators and USB plugs. And so one of the cool things that Honda have really thought about is connectivity for your phone. You can connect your phone to the dash and you can take calls, you can listen to music and change it through there and all sorts. And it is housed quite nicely within the plastics of the cockpit. Very neat. We've got Honda Hiss, Honda's immobiliser system is standard. Oh, that's flooded. The screen is giving me V-Strom 800D vibes. It's just low enough for me to see over it, which you guys know I prefer to look over screens and through them. Got a cyclist. But we'll see how it feels on some slippy lanes. The slippy lanes, not the nicest, but we'll just push it a little bit. Bit of gravel, not nice. That's a problem when it rains up here. Forces everything over. Okay. there. It's weird, even though the V-Strom is rocking less horsepower, for some reason it feels faster. Which is strange. We'll stay on our side of the road for a change here, since it's not clear. And put it in sport mode. And we'll drop it a few cogs. Look at this, gravel. Awful. We hate it, we hate it. So it's definitely a noisier. Wah! I just got drenched. I just got drenched. It's definitely a noisier engine. And don't get me wrong, it's going alright. It's going alright. I'm not knocking that. Oh, views up here. Views for days. What was that weird noise then? I don't know, weirdly it feels more sure-footed over the Nadgery roads of Rivington than the Suzuki does. It feels more of a spanker, even though it doesn't feel as fast, it just feels more planted. And a planted feeling is quite nice on this bike. Okay, we'll rein it in. 30 miles an hour. Yeah, I really did want to review this bike in its own right, but it's always hard. So, like, I reviewed the Hornet before I reviewed the GSX 8S, and I didn't have anything to compare the Hornet to, so I kind of judged that in its own right. With the GSX 8S, I definitely felt, oh, it's tall. I definitely felt like I was drawing more comparisons with the Hornet because I'd ridden it. It's hard to get out there, it's not really great, especially when it's on a bit of a camber and a hill and can't really touch the floor, but we do our best, it's all we can do in life. So yeah, as I was saying, sorry, took the Hornet out first. Naturally the comparisons come when I ride the GSX 8S, and since I rode the V-Strom 800D first, the comparisons will follow with this, just because it's human nature to kind of compare similar things. So yeah, upon first impressions, it does feel a little less power than the Suzuki, weirdly, in my opinion. Might be to do with the torque. That might have a factor and impact on how that feels, but definitely in terms of it feeling more sure-footed on the country lanes, I'd definitely say the Transalp is a lot better at that, even though they both have the same 21-inch front. And I think, you know, that might partly be to do with the suspension. We've got a lot of travel. We've got, I think, 20mm more travel on the Suzuki, and also it's quite soft. The suspension is soft, certainly out the box. On the rear, very, very soft. I'm sure you can obviously adjust that and you know, maybe firm it up a little bit, but straight out the box, if you were just to take them both on a test ride and take them over the same country lane, I think you would find this a bit more stable, a bit more planted. Been a lot of rain today, tends to wash all the badness into the road, which is never the most comforting when you want to just commit to a real fun bend. Indicators don't stick out as far as the Suzuki, and I can already see that they're on all the time, like a riding light, a daytime riding light. We've got LEDs all around, as we should in this day and age. One of the things I really like about this one is the price. I think it's very well priced. Go for it, lad. Yeah, very well priced at £9,499 at the time of this video. And then the 3 colour options available, we have Ross White, we've got the grey, we've got the black, and to be honest, I think they're all really smart. In fact, I'd probably say, controversial I know, that the white is my least favourite. Brakes. Bit squeaky. A bit like ooh, ooh, under heavy braking. Interesting. Oh, it started to rain, it started to rain, it started to rain. Yeah, ease of riding, super easy riding. You know, the dash is capable of so much. If you guys have watched my walk around video, you'll see what I mean by that, but yeah, there's plenty to delve into. Oh, okay, so we might even jump on the motorway here and see how it performs on the motorway. Now, we don't have cruise control on this bike, much like its competitor, which has been a bit of a stinger for a lot of you. And I understand that, because it is nice. It's definitely nice to have cruise control. But just like the Africa Twin, we have typically boxy switchgear, which I feel is kind of a Honda thing. If you're an owner of a Transalp, what user settings have you found that work perfectly for your needs, whether it's on the road or off the road? Because if you guys and girls have a preference, it's always nice to share what works for you, because it might work for someone else. Ergonomics of this bike, well, I find it really comfy so far. There's nothing that sticks out as being a negative. So for my 5'4" frame and 29-inch inside leg measurement, we're doing alright. We're doing alright. But we'll give it a go on motorway. So, 3rd gear, sport mode, 37 miles an hour up the slip road, 39, 40. Okay, yeah, it gets up pretty quick. It's up there, it's up there. It gets there fast when you really wind it on. That's good to know. And it had the sound with it. So with regards to wind at this speed, with the windscreen in this position, I am not getting battered around or buffeted. But again, if you guys own one of these or have test rode one and you're a lot taller than me, please feel free to report back. It's like I say, the pool of information we can generate about bikes through telling people or telling each other how we feel about certain bikes, how they make us feel, what we like, what we don't like. It's just really good for collating information together when you're trying to make a decision as to what bike you want to buy. Well, guys and girls, I hope you've enjoyed this quick little first impressions, first glance of the Honda Transalp 750. It really was my first glance of it. I haven't been anywhere prior. I have honestly just jumped on it today, and this is what I feel. I think it's a very comfortable bike. Its riding position is very, you know, neutral. There's nothing too extended, nothing too hunched, which is good for a bike that's designed to do many miles. average fuel consumption on the dash is saying 48.1 miles to the gallon, but that is something that fluctuates depending on how hard you rev it, of course. Everything works quite nicely, the screen works great, the mirrors are lovely and stable, not much vibration through them. I'm not getting much vibrations through the pegs either, maybe a little bit, but nothing that I think would be debilitating or problematic. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you want to see me on any other bikes, let me know in the comments and I will try my damnedest to get hold of them. And until the next time guys, take care and ride safe. Bye!